How you doing, guys? I'm going to do a slightly different video today. It's a bit more of an instructional one, mixed in with some Clarky humour. Well, as you can see, it is a little bit soggy today. Just a tad. Winter and bad weather is upon us. And winter and bad weather means that you must ride slightly differently. Otherwise you'll end up wintering in bad weather on the floor. Sliding. Hurting yourself. And I don't want to see that. I don't want any of my subscribers to end up sliding along the floor. Now, when you are in the wet, you have to be more careful with your gears. Like so. Like when you're in the wet, don't overtake anyone. Don't do that. Just be a little bit more careful out there, you know. If you've got a slightly larger bike, maybe try and stay in first gear a little bit more gently. If you can, pull away in second in slippery places, especially on ice. Try not to use first. The problem you have with these little videos is it's all very situational. If you feel like the bike is skidding out too much, then use less revs or use a higher gear. But the thing is, when you use a higher gear, you're putting more stress on the gearbox. And bikes get quite a lot of stress on the gearbox anyway. And you will eventually, if you used to do it all the time, like all the time, then you could cause problems with your bike. But the thing is that winter isn't exactly a short season. You know, in the UK, what was it? Bad weather lasts about 8 months of the year, really. 7 months. So still quite a lot of riding if you're using your bike every day and if you're using it for quite a lot of miles and a lot of traffic. The other thing is obviously you've got your paint. Try not to go over it, and I would go over it just then, but it's because I'm going so slow it doesn't really matter. But it is a little bit more slippy. It's slippy. And you'll get a lot of people that can't be bothered to wait till they go to crossings, so they just change the road whenever they can. The good thing about wet road is you can see all the oil patches. I don't know if you guys can see it. We've got all these drips of oil and petrol on the road here, which I am avoiding. So you've got to be a bit more careful with your gears and filtering. Filtering is a lot more important. The way that you do it. Because you're going to have hurdles at every single point, really. You know, the road's going to be crap. People aren't going to be paying attention so much because they're all bloody miserable. So traffic here. I want to overtake this little lorry thing. I can't really see what's going on up ahead. You can't see if there's any gaps for you to go into on the other side, and obviously there's cars coming the other way. God. So I'm just going to be patient. That sucks on a bike. That sucks monkey balls. Using your back brake a little bit more than your front. Now me at the moment, I have a very crap front tyre. It is so crap that it hinders my riding at the moment because I'm like, it's gonna skid. It probably won't. But when I'm in the wet, I really don't trust it. I really don't trust it right now. Behind that lorry. It annoys me. So if you're going to use your brakes, just a little bit of pressure on the brakes. Don't use like all your fingers or anything because you're just going to skid all over the place. Just like there, I only used say 2 fingers and I was putting gently. And that's why it took me so long to stop as well. The thing is, with my brakes at the moment, is if I put a lot of pressure on the front, then it will, you know, put a lot of weight to the front of the bike on the front tyre. My front tyre is crap, so I don't really want to do that right now. It makes me feel very uneasy. waiting to use your power when the bike's a bit more upright. If you are going to spend a lot of your time in traffic, then your tyres are going to get cold. And that means that they're going to skid more because they're not so soft. They're going to be hard. Hard. Preempt your turners when you're coming up. Turners? Corners when you're coming up to them. So get your speed right. Be careful on your roundabouts, obviously. You Americans that don't have roundabouts. No, turn! Lean off the bike. I can't really ride in the wet in this bike. Going around corners is a bit of a nightmare. I'm so scared of these tyres just slipping out. I think next month I'll be getting some new ones. I'll be getting some Continental Road Attacks. Probably some Road Attacks 2s. That's always good to go with new technology. Bloody paint. It's annoying stuff. Ooh, hello. And this is where filtering comes in. So we've got lots and lots and lots of paint here, so as I'm going through I could slip all over the place. And what I need to do is work my way into the right hand side of the traffic, because otherwise I'm going to get stuck between these two. So when I can, I would go here. Try and stay off the paint if I can, keeping a look around the corner. There's a car coming, so go back on the paint. Woohoo. Car coming there, get off the paint. On the paint, car coming, get off the paint. I don't really want to slip in the middle of these two cars, if you know what I mean. It becomes a problem when there's like a lorry coming, because they're a bit wider. So you always look at the head. Oh shit! Lorry! Woo! Thing is, because I'm in a slightly higher gear, because I don't want to skedaddle, don't want to skid out, I end up having less pull. Which means that me getting, you know, into all these gaps, I have to remember that I don't have so much acceleration. I still have quite a lot of acceleration, I've got tons of acceleration because it's a 9R, but it's not what I'm used to, so I've got to remember that, you know, some gaps I'm going to have to not even bother trying. I'm quite loyal to solid lines. Sometimes, I mean, the majority of the time I won't go through them. What's the other things you can do for the winter? Obviously, make sure that your oil's all topped up, make sure it's all nice and fresh, all your fluids are done, your coolant, if you can get some better coolant, then please do. Because even though, well, if you've topped it up with water, then look at what you can do with the coolant. Because it's an antifreeze as well, so you don't want it all freezing. So just be a bit more careful with that. Make sure your bulbs are done. You're going to be a lot darker, a lot more, because the days are getting shorter, which means your lights are going to be needed a lot more when you use them during the day. But, you know, if my bulb stops working in the day, then people can still see me, whereas if it's night time, then I'm fucked. Remember to rinse your bike off every now and then. They'll be putting salt on the roads. And we don't like salt on our bikes. No, we do not. Because it makes them all go corrosive-y and horrible. So clean your bike, sort out your chain. Check your bike over more. You're going to have cold temperatures and then you're going to have hot temperatures. And it's going to mess with your bike like a bitch. like when you have a china plate at home, it's really, really, really hot, and then you put it in something really, really, really cold, and it just goes. Roadworks is going to be an absolute bitch. I mean, there's a problem over here where, you know, the tarmacking needs to be done. You can lower your tyre temperatures a little bit. One of the things they do say apparently is don't worry so much about your front. Actually no, lower the front slightly, and apparently that widens it and it pushes the water out of the way a bit more for the back. See, on these roads I'm absolutely fine with going fast. Oh, there again, on the wrong side. When it comes to, you know, just normal round town roads, I hate the corners. It's because of my damn tyres. I mean, it's because of the sharpness of the corners, because obviously corners on these roads are, you know, so small. You know, if you look at the corners I just went through there, and if you look at the ones I've just done here, or that I'm about to do, it's like, ugh. 2 fingers on the front brake, which a lot of people use anyway. You don't need to grab the entire thing. Going into second, so try not to skid out while there's petrol all over this fucking roundabout. You also find that the fluid sits on the roundabout for a lot longer. Sits on the roundabout, sits on the roads. It doesn't get washed away because the rain's always really crappy and spitty. You're not going to get hard rain, it's going to be really fine and shit. Which means all the crap and gunk just stays on the road and ruins your bloody thing.